Unspoken scars. You. The fire is no longer burning when you wake. Only ash remains, faint and grey, settling beneath the iron grate. The room smells of herbs, old parchment, and the trace of blood that still lingers in the linens you folded hours ago. But it's the sound of his breathing, soft, steady, that anchors you. Severus lies beside you, face pale, brow still tense in sleep. The bruising on his side is darker in the morning light, the wound tucked beneath layers of salve and healing magic, but it's clear. He's not well. He needs rest. He needs time, and he will refuse both. You sit up slowly, careful not to wake him, your hand lightly brushing over his. It only takes a second before his eyes flick open, sharp, alert, as if sleep is never quite full in him. "Good morning," you whisper. He studies your face a moment before murmuring, "Is it?" You offer a faint, sad smile. "I've been thinking," you say. "You can't teach today, Severus. You're barely standing." "I will manage." You shake your head. "No. Dumbledore has to be told. He'll need to find a substitute." His hand shoots out, gripping your wrist, firm but not cruel, just enough to silence you. "No one must know," he says sharply. "No one. Especially not Albus." You blink, caught in the intensity of his stare. "But why?" "Because," he says, voice low and tight, "you should not know I was out there. No one can know you were involved. If word gets out that you were with me, if they connect you to this." His eyes close briefly, as though it hurts more to imagine that than the wound on his ribs. "It's dangerous." You swallow hard. "So you'll drag yourself to class and pretend everything's fine?" "Yes." He releases your wrist gently. "I've done worse." Your heart sinks. "Please," he says, quieter now, "go back to your dorms, before anyone sees you missing." You hesitate. The idea of leaving him here, bruised, exhausted, unwilling to let anyone help, feels like abandonment. But his tone allows no room for argument. Not now. "I don't like this," you whisper. "I don't either," he admits. You lean in and kiss his temple, then his cheek, then softly his lips, just once, just enough. "I'll come tonight," you promise. His eyes soften just a fraction, and then he turns away, wincing as he pulls himself upright, already reaching for his teaching robes. You slip out quietly, robes pulled tight around your nightclothes, hot, heavy. By the time you make it back to the dorms, the sun is barely rising, and you've left a piece of yourself behind in that chamber of shadows and silence. Pain is a quiet, constant thing, moves beneath his skin like a second heartbeat, throbbing under his ribs with each breath, every step an exercise in silence and sheer control. His robes hide the worst of it, and years of practice cloak the rest. He doesn't limp. He doesn't flinch. Not when he leans over a cauldron. Not when he turns too sharply and feels the half-healed gash tug against his side. Not even when a student spills a full vial of boomslang skin and he has to bend down, slow, excruciatingly slow, to pick it up himself. The classroom buzzes around him. Slytherins and Ravenclaws today. Third years, noisy, distracted. His voice slices through them like a knife. "No talking during potion restabilization, unless you'd like a trip to the hospital wing, and I will not be taking you." The room stills instantly. He straightens, holding in the grunt that wants to tear from his throat. His hand grips the edge of his desk for half a second too long before he moves again. Only one pair of eyes catches it. You can't look away from him. He hasn't seen you watching. You're good at being careful. Just another student among dozens in the great hall, in the corridors, even outside the potions classroom door, as you pretended to fumble with your satchel so you could slip in just behind the crowd. But you see him. You see how he moves. Too slowly, too precisely. You see how he keeps one arm stiff at his side. You see how his face flickers with tension when he thinks no one's looking. And worst of all, you see how alone he is in it. He told you not to speak, not to let anyone know. So you say nothing. But your stomach twists every time he turns away, and you notice the fine sheen of sweat on his neck, the pain in his posture. You want to march up to Dumbledore yourself. You want to grab him by the shoulders and scream, "Why won't you let anyone help you?" But you don't. Because last night when he held your wrist and whispered, "No one must know," you heard what he didn't say, that protecting you was worth his pain. So you wait. You say nothing. And it breaks you. The door creaks open under your hand. You've been standing outside it for too long, heart hammering, fingers curled tightly in your robes, trying to gather the courage to knock. But the moment you finally do, it opens, and the warmth inside floods over you like a breath held all day. He doesn't greet you. He's sitting by the fire again. His outer robes hang across the back of the chair. His waistcoat is unbuttoned, shirt sleeves pushed up to the elbow. He's holding another glass of fire whiskey in one hand, half full. His posture is straight, but you know the tension is pain, not pride. You close the door behind you gently. He looks up, eyes finding yours, and for a long moment, neither of you speaks. "I watched you today," you say quietly. "I know," he murmurs, voice like worn parchment. "You always do." You move toward him, not asking permission. You don't need to. He doesn't resist when you kneel in front of him, your hands gently resting on his thighs, your chin tilted to look up at him. The firelight catches the hollows beneath his cheekbones, the pale cast of exhaustion he can't fully hide. "You're still bleeding," you whisper. "It's stopped," he lies. You don't call him on it, not this time. "I wanted to go to Dumbledore 100 times today." His jaw tenses. "But I didn't," you say. "I promised you. I stayed quiet." He closes his eyes, lets out a breath that sounds like it carries every hour of the day within it. "You shouldn't have to. Neither should you." Silence settles between you, not sharp like before, but soft, tired, fragile. He lifts his hand slowly, gingerly, and brushes your hair back behind your ear. His fingers linger at your jawline. You lean into the touch, your hand rising to cover his. "I hated watching you in pain," you murmur. "I hate you seeing me like this," he replies, voice rough. "But I'd rather see the truth than pretend I don't care." You see it then, the shift, the edge in his defenses softening, the flicker of something warmer in his gaze. Maybe trust, maybe something older and deeper. "I need to redress the wound," you say gently. "Let me take care of you." This time he nods. You rise, retrieve the salve, the basin, the clean cloths. You've done this before, but it's different now. He lets you undo the buttons slowly, lets you part the fabric and slide it off his shoulders, revealing the bruises that mark every breath he took for your safety. Your fingers tremble, but you do it anyway, tenderly, thoroughly. Every stroke of the cloth says, "I'm still here. I'm not leaving." You don't ask if it hurts, and he doesn't ask if you blame yourself. He knows you do. When you're finished, he reaches for your hand and pulls you close, not with urgency, but with the gravity of someone who needs to feel you breathe against his chest. You sit beside him, his arm around your waist, your head tucked beneath his chin. Neither of you says it aloud, but it's there in the silence. You are mine to protect, and I am here, even in your ruin.